Alyurimi and her father Attiku shared an unbreakable and extraordinary bond. Sadly, Attiku's life came to an end when his daughter was merely 5 years old. At Attiku's funeral, Alyurimi made the decision to embrace her father one last time, and what occurred next left the crowd in shock. Born into a destitute family in Ethiopia, Attiku's parents had aspirations of breaking free from the cycle of poverty that had plagued them for generations. Unfortunately, their aspirations were never realized as they passed away before they could see their dreams come to fruition. Determined to create a different path for himself, Attiku searched for ways to secure a better future. Despite years of toil, his dreams remained unrealized. In order to make ends meet, he labored on construction sites before selling injera and doro wat by the roadside. Additionally, he occasionally took on night shifts at factories to ensure the smooth operation of his food business. Once Attiku finished his night shift, he would immediately head to his modest store and tirelessly work throughout the day, without any break or rest, selling his products. One fateful day while running his shop, Attiku crossed paths with Janetta. What first caught his attention was her stunning dark complexion, followed by her captivating eyes and joyful grin. Janetta became a frequent visitor, always showing up at the same time to purchase injera. This continued for a few weeks until Attiku found himself smitten with her. During this time, Janetta and Attiku formed a close bond, becoming good friends. However, Attiku's feelings for her went beyond mere friendship. He yearned for more and couldn't wait to confess his true feelings. On a day when a heavy storm was expected, Attiku felt as though fate had presented him with an opportunity. He had prepared a meager amount of food, and had to apologize to customers who came looking for more. After everything had sold out, Attiku saved a portion of Janetta's injera, hoping she would arrive. To his delight, just a few minutes later, Janetta arrived, providing him with a stroke of luck. However, as Attiku served their food, it began to pour heavily, sending him into a panic. He needed to swiftly pack his cooking equipment and lock everything up before the rain ruined his belongings. Despite being financially constrained, Attiku was grateful when Janetta offered to lend a hand in packing up. The task was completed in a matter of minutes, and despite being soaked, they sought shelter under a nearby bus stop where they talked for hours as the rain continued to pour down. As Attiku and Janetta conversed, he could no longer contain his emotions and decided to confess his love for her. Apologizing profusely, Attiku explained that he wanted her in his life. Overcome with emotion, Janetta paused for a moment before responding with a warm smile. "What took you so long?" "I've been dreaming of this moment." And with those words, their relationship began to take shape and soon blossomed into a beautiful love story. To promote Attiku's culinary talent, Janetta would often join him on the street to sell food, and their business grew due to their love and dedication. She also helped spread the word about their food, attracting more customers to their small venture. One day, Attiku landed a catering contract for a conference which allowed him to showcase his culinary expertise and the quality of his services. This led to more orders and profits started rolling in, allowing Attiku to eventually open a small shop. Attiku believed that Janetta was his lucky charm and their relationship blossomed quickly. In just 8 months, they moved in together and 4 months later they tied the knot. Despite receiving medical reassurances that there were no fertility issues, the couple was unsuccessful in starting a family, causing Janetta to feel troubled and cry through the night. However, Attiku comforted her by promising that they would eventually have children of their own, and his words came true 2 years later when Janetta finally became pregnant. The couple was overjoyed with the news, and Janetta's pregnancy went smoothly until they welcomed a beautiful baby girl, whom they named Alyurimi. Alyurimi inherited her mother's mesmerizing eyes and her father's arched eyebrows. The baby's delay in coming seemed to have been a blessing in disguise, as she turned out to be a perfect creation. In just a few years, Abba's parents realized that their daughter was a prodigy. At the age of 3, she was already an avid reader and had impressive math skills. Alyurimi had an insatiable thirst for knowledge, and her parents were more than happy to indulge her. The three of them made a formidable team, doing everything together and enjoying true happiness. However, their joy was short-lived. On Alyurimi's 5th birthday, a terrifying incident occurred. During a game of indoor games, Attiku suddenly collapsed, causing Alyurimi to frantically cling to him, shouting for him to wake up. Thankfully, he regained consciousness after a few minutes. Janetta attributed the incident to stress, hoping it would never happen again. Following the frightening fainting episodes, the couple rushed Ataku to the hospital for examination. They received the devastating news that Ataku was suffering from a terminal illness and needed medical attention immediately. As each day passed, Ataku's health steadily declined. To protect her daughter, Janetta kept the truth hidden from Alyurimi and simply told her that Ataku was at the hospital for special reasons. Despite her young age, Alyurimi could sense that something was wrong and would visit her father with her mother. However, Ataku wished for his daughter to understand the seriousness of his condition, but his weakened state made it difficult for him to convey his message. As Janetta tended to Ataku in his hospital room one afternoon, Alyurimi approached her father with a sense of unease and asked, "Daddy, are you going away?" Janetta was taken aback by the question, but Ataku interrupted her before she could say anything, and with tears in his eyes, he told his daughter that he was indeed dying and would soon leave them. Alyurimi comforted her father by kissing away his tears and holding his hands close to her heart. She promised him that he would always be with her, and the family continued to visit him every day. Despite Alyurimi's presence bringing some joy to Ataku's life, his health continued to deteriorate rapidly. Alyurimi demonstrated remarkable strength as she held back her tears during her father's seizures and coughing up blood. It soon became apparent that Ataku's days were numbered. Despite this realization, Janetta refused to accept that her husband was not fighting for his life. One day, Janetta tearfully asked Ataku why he had decided to leave them and not keep his promise of loving her forever. She couldn't understand why he couldn't fight. Ataku, with the last of his strength, apologized and tried to hold her, but she ran out, consumed by angry tears. Alyurimi spent the rest of the day by her father's side, preventing anyone from entering the room. They held each other tightly and wept as they said their goodbyes, their hearts heavy with sorrow. The next day, Ataku passed away peacefully in his sleep. Janetta was devastated when she received the news and was filled with remorse and self-blame. She wished she had bid him a proper farewell and vowed never to love another man. Alyurimi, however, found solace in the beautiful conversations she had shared with her father and was able to find closure. Despite the funeral proceedings, Janetta was unable to stop crying while Alyurimi remained sober. Just before the casket was lowered, Alyurimi felt the urge to embrace her father one last time. She asked her mother if she could hug him in the coffin, and although hesitant, Janetta consented. The sight was pitiful as Alyurimi stepped into the coffin and embraced her father for several minutes. It felt like an eternity to Alyurimi as tears flowed down her face and soaked her father's burial garments. She whispered comforting words to him and planted a final kiss on his forehead. In that moment, something remarkable occurred that surprised the mourners. A dove swooped into the cemetery and landed on Ataku's resting place. The bird affectionately pecked Alyurimi, causing her to smile, while the adults watched in amazement and wonder. The funeral attendees were filled with disbelief and shock, with some even letting out screams. Janetta herself was also unnerved by the sudden appearance of the dove, unsure of what to make of it. But Alyurimi knew that doves were a symbol of peace and love, so she took this as a final sign of her father's love for her. Years later, Alyurimi shared the story of the strong bond she had with her father and how the dove had landed on his chest and pecked her cheek. Her children and grandchildren also came to believe that the dove's presence was a powerful symbol of the love between Alyurimi and her father.